I had always stayed away from watercolors because I thought they were too hard and I couldn't get them to look the way I wanted them to. And so I would get frustrated and just kind of throw the paper away after. And then I wound up going through a health crisis and wound up having brain surgery. And while I was recovering, I was trying to get back into doing artwork again. I had 6 month period where I was off of work and I had nothing to do all day. So I started drawing and painting again. And then I started just kind of dabbling with watercolors. I actually saw your work on Facebook first. I was like really excited because I tend to do like a little bit of a history in art. And when I draw and when I paint with acrylics and that sort of thing, I do more realistic type stuff. I've never seen that in watercolor before. I Googled you and I found the other paintings that you had done yourself and that some of that your students had done, and they were just amazing. So I thought this is definitely something I need to look into. Learning about the difference between the hobby artist versus the professional artist, working towards it a little bit at a time, even though I had to listen to the Q&As after they had already been recorded. There was a lot of stuff that was in there that was really valuable, I think. And you have to actually follow through on things, and you can't just leave it to the last minute. You have to work on it a little bit at a time every day. And not just when it comes to art, but when it comes to life in general. If you have any goal, you have to break it down into parts and you have to work on it a little bit at a time. And those little bits add up and eventually you get there. There's also this huge mental hurdle that you have to overcome. So I thought the idea of the other parts of the program where you talk about mindset and all of that would be helpful too, because I was going through kind of a metamorphosis at the time anyways. So this one I had done and then this one. And then that's what I did for the project painting. I learned so much. I learned more in this course in 10 weeks than I did in like a year of trying to learn how to do watercolors. Just so much crammed into this course. So you have to learn new techniques. But once you do, you can create some really fabulous things really quickly if you take the time and put in the effort to try and learn it. I do think I could definitely teach other people to do it. I'm looking forward to it. I think repetition is the key, and when you do something once, it's great, but you tend to lose it after a while if you're not continuing to keep on doing it. And so going through it again and again and again. And every time you do it, you learn a little bit more and you get a little bit better at it. And so, I'm looking forward to seeing where my paintings are at in a year. Meeta is very inspirational. She's also very tough, but fair. um, you do a really good job of like listening to you talk, just listening to your story, listening to how you overcame these mental hurdles yourself and went, from where you started to where you are now is just very inspirational all on its own. But then also, the checking in on your students and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and that they, if they need help, then you're here, but not allowing us to make excuses for not doing it either. It's good. It's like that tough love is really good. I think that it was a huge motivating factor. I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to do that more in the future here. I would say invest in yourself. If this is something you really want, then it's going to be worth the money to pay for this course because you're going to get a lot out of it. If you're highly motivated and you really want to become a professional artist, it's like when you're going to university to become a doctor or a lawyer or, work in a government office like I do. You can't expect that education for free. And you have to be willing to invest the time and the money and the effort into what you want to do with your life. Forget what other people think. If other people think that you can't succeed, ignore them. This is definitely like a full program. It's like going to art school. It's that caliber. So, it's worth the investment. And the next year of your life is going to go by whether you take this course or you don't. So you might as well take the gamble and do it.